today we are going to be heading out to the property. We have a couple things that we have to get done. So there's a couple windows that we need to fix the window operators on. I'm sure if you're familiar with the windows here, you know that they tend to mess up on the operators. So basically we're going to be going to the store to pick up some of these operators and see if we can go ahead and do the repairs real quick, and also get some of the bug screens for the windows as well, just to have that already, and just kind of doing little bits and pieces of usually, in all honesty, these are things that like homeowners kind of do once you buy the house, especially when it's it's not a brand new property. But there's a couple of plans here in Puerto Rico, loan types, I should rather say, that are a little bit more strict and require the house to adhere to certain guidelines. Specifically this one here that a lot of people are qualifying for, which is called Vivienda, or R3 or D3, D3 or 3D, something like that. But yeah, so to be able to qualify for those, we have to make sure that there's certain guidelines met, so that it can pass inspection, and we could potentially get someone that could buy the house with this loan type. So on our way out to Hatillo, we are driving from Arecibo, going closer to Hatillo, but still in Arecibo for the property we're going to be fixing up. So stay tuned. So we just arrived to the property. Hope you like the decor. Yeah, definitely feels so much better here now that everything's pretty much done. So the open house that we did for the property was a success. But there's a couple things I have to get done. Like I said, get these operators working. Now, if you know anything about Puerto Rico windows, these are the worst operators to deal with. Always break in. It's always a problem. So we're gonna figure this out. Basically, we need to make sure that we put in the new operator. It hinges on. I fixed this one up top here, so that one's working fine. This one too, I just have to replace the little thingamajigger there. That's all good to go. But now we just got to get these two and a couple more in the other room. So let's do this. All right, let's see if it works. I ended up buying this one first, thinking that it was gonna fit easy peasy, but the reality is that you also gotta look at the side of this, because all this is part of it. It has to match. So went back to the good old ferreteria. I got me a universal one. Let's see if this one will do the trick. Boom. it's hard to get the screws out. Usually got to grind them off, so that's why I brought my grinder with me to take them out, so I was able to remove them. So pretty much from this one here, I just have this window to repair. I was able to grind out the ones for these windows, so that's taken care of. So let's see, these are it right here. So the problem with these is that it's a little dark, but problem with these is that they're so old, it's hard to find them, and they have to be the exact, you know, length and stuff, because if not, it won't operate the window properly. So gonna go to Home Depot, but they know me by now. That's part of flicks and flips, man. Living at Home Depot. For those that know, they know. So anyways, there's a grinder there. Just finished grinding them out. Sorry I wasn't able to do it on video. It's hard to balance everything, but anyway, stay tuned. We're gonna get this house ready to sell, man. I'm ready for this. We already have a potential buyer, but they are through this like pretty strict plan. So we have to make sure that everything is, you know, functioning properly, everything like that. By the way, I didn't get to show you guys this, but we kind of came up with a cool way to make some closet doors. Closet doors here in Puerto Rico, like, you know, it's hard to get them to the right size and specification of what you need. And if you do, you have to, you know, pretty much send it to be done, and it takes a few months for them to come in. Wow, there's tons of breeze right now. So it ends up, you know, not working for people that do what we do, you know, with flipping and stuff. We pretty much have to, you know, get this thing done quickly, because with flipping, you know, time is money. So so we actually went to Ikea and came up with this cool design here. But basically, these are like curtains, but they're like flat curtains. So it's pretty cool, because basically you install the rack on top and you put these panels here. I don't know if you guys have seen them before. But yeah, so you install them, and you pretty much, you know, are able to have the closet doors kind of hide your stuff. You know, they pretty much work as a closet door for the most part, you know. Running through that along that rack or whatever, and you have everything concealed. So it's actually pretty cool, and I might start using these in my future flips, because a lot of people are like, we got a lot of positive feedback on it from the open house. A lot of people enjoyed these little closet doors. It just, you know, it's different, kind of gives it almost like a, I don't know, oriental vibe or whatever. So it's kind of nice. And you know, you just kind of pick a real neutral color, and it, I don't know, adds a cool element to the room. So anyways, off to Home Depot. So we are now getting to the last bit of our window repair slash revamp upgrade. The reason why I say that is because, like I said, usually these are things that, like, you know, I digress. But anyways, the window operators are all complete. That's the old one, that's a new one. I'll probably come back and hit it with a little bit of the paint, just to kind of make sure everything is working fine. You know, it's good to go. We have operating windows. Crazy. A lot of work. Yeah, those things are just tedious, man. Whoever invented that design. Yeah. So now for the fun part, we're gonna go ahead and you know, kind of put the ice cream on the cake here and put them screens on, 2 for each room. Now the interesting thing about these measurements is that even though you go based off of you know, the measurement of the window, and that's how they're set up in Home Depot, you really, this is kind of like a advice I would give, is to actually, with a tape measure, that's why you saw I have my tape measure here with me, actually measure the size that you need, the actual size, not go based off of some window calculation, because they can deviate from the actual calculation that it's supposed to be, because there's some window screens that are supposed to be inside the window, and there's some that are supposed to sit on the outside, and this is the style that sits on the outside of the window and gets clipped on by those by these little clips. So with that being said, I always do that because I've already been through it. It's I've already wasted trips to Home Depot enough times to learn from my mistakes, and the reality is that it's best to make sure you do this in that specific way. So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and install these bad boys and have this all set up and go from there. So yep. Just explain to you the amount of breeze that comes through this house. I mean, it's just such a breezy, cool property. You know what I mean? It feels good. It's a feel-good property. You know that a property feels good as soon as you walk in through it. You get that feel, that cool, that breeze. You're not in some like desert city. A lot of cities here in Puerto Rico suffer from the extra heat just because they end up turning into concrete jungles where there's not too much wind and stuff. But we're literally like a stone skip from the beach. We're so close to the beach here in this property that's ridiculous. And it's just crazy to think that someone here can potentially purchase this property for. We're listing this property for $155,000. And you get a pretty much move-in ready, nice finished house for that budget, for that price range here in Puerto Rico. But on top of that, you're literally steps from the beach. It's crazy, but it's one of the blessings that we have here in Puerto Rico. That the reality is that something that we take for granted, but we're in a beautiful island, and people here get to enjoy just living beachside, being close to a river, being close to a beautiful lake, just mountain views. I mean, there's just so much that this place has to offer. So it really is something that we can easily forget. How blessed we are for this. To be here in Puerto Rico, so the reality is that flipping houses here, it's a lot of work. Puerto Rico has its quirks, it has its difficulties just like everywhere else, but doing this, I feel like you eventually either push into it and become very, almost like a calling, doing what we're doing here, or you just become cold and methodical, and it just becomes just like another property to fix up and flip for a profit. And for us, it's just much more than that, honestly. I really feel like we really want to invest in houses to make them feel like homes. These properties that were in ruins, were in shambles for years, just abandoned properties. The easiest way to fly by through life is just kind of living for your own selfish desires and needs, your own things, and so many people just decide to do that. And it's just like you come and go on this earth, and then what? What do you leave behind? What legacy what legacy do you leave behind for your kids, for people? How are you going to be remembered, you know? And the only way you do that is if you live for something bigger than yourself, you know. And I really truly feel that we're here in the island, you know, decided to pack up and just start fresh from our established life over there in Brandon, Florida, and come back here to the island where everybody is, for the most part, you know, like you see so many people running away, so many people like, oh my God, why would you go and invest there? We're here because we want to rebuild the ruined places, you know. We see ruins, we go around and we see desolate places, we see abandoned homes and all these things that people look down upon. We see opportunities, we see hope, we see beautiful, you know, beautiful possibilities hidden underneath the island that is Puerto Rico. So without further ado, many blessings to all of those that watch. I pray and I hope that this is an inspiration to whoever is watching us to just go out there. Stop, you know, don't put any more excuses. Go out and just make a difference. And I hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time for more content. Hopefully by the next video we'll be talking about the successful sale and we're done with flip number 3. So take it easy.